Ladies and gentlemen, in the midst of today's world of scientific progress, one of the most dangerous trials we face is atheism, the outright denial of Allah's existence. In this age of reason and logic, many claim that everything can be explained through science, and that there is no creator, no sustainer behind the universe. These voices challenge the very foundations of faith, raising questions that leave many searching for answers. But what if I told you this challenge is nothing new? In fact, it is as ancient as Islam itself. In today's video, we will uncover a remarkable story from the past, a story that exposes how Allah, in His infinite wisdom, silenced the most profound challenge to His existence in a way that no one could have predicted. It was a moment that took place in the heart of the Muslim world, one that baffled the greatest scholars and left the enemy of faith humiliated and defeated. This event is as astonishing as it is inspiring, and it centers around a seemingly simple question. What existed before Allah? Who created Allah? Now imagine this. A man, a staunch atheist, arrogantly asked this question in front of the learned scholars of his time. The scholars are confused, and no one knows how to respond. But Allah had a plan, and He chose to reveal the truth in a way that no one expected. Through a child just 11 years old, Allah provided the answer that stunned everyone. This child's response not only silenced the atheist, but it also left the scholars speechless, proving the undeniable truth of Allah's existence in the most extraordinary manner. So what did this young child say that caused such a profound impact? How did this simple answer shake the very foundations of atheism and challenge the arguments of those who deny the Creator? Stay tuned, because in this video, we are about to reveal the powerful story of how an 11-year-old's wisdom silence the greatest intellectual challenge of the time. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Heartbeats for Allah and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our fascinating Islamic content. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, foretold that such trials would emerge in future times when doubt and disbelief would cloud the minds of many. In a powerful narration from Sahih Muslim, Hazrat Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported that the Prophet, PBUH, said, "People will continue to question one another until it is said, if everything was created by Allah, then who created Allah? When such questions arise, one should respond, I believe in Allah." This prophecy speaks to the very essence of human curiosity and the way doubt can creep into hearts, especially in times when faith is tested. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, had already foreseen that such intellectual challenges would emerge, and he advised the believers to remain firm in their faith, to trust in the wisdom of Allah, and to respond with certainty and simplicity. I believe in Allah. Centuries ago, during the time of the early Islamic caliphates, in the bustling markets of Baghdad, a man disguised by Satan as an atheist appeared. His mission was clear: to shake the faith of the Muslims by challenging the very foundations of their belief in Allah. He would raise these doubts not in private discussions, but loudly in front of crowds, in an attempt to embarrass the Muslims and discredit their belief. He would step into the marketplace and call out, "O Muslims, you claim that Allah is the creator of everything and the source of all knowledge. Then tell me, who created Allah? What existed before Him?" He asked these questions with a mocking tone, trying to undermine the very concept of a creator who has no beginning or end. His questions were bold and designed to confuse. You believe your Lord sees everything. Tell me, which direction is His face turned toward? You claim that your Lord exists. What is His composition? Is He solid like metal, fluid like water, or vapor like smoke? You say that those who perform good deeds will go to paradise, where they will never have any needs, and no waste will leave their bodies. How is this possible? You believe that those who commit evil deeds will be punished in hellfire. But you also believe that jinn were created from fire. How can fire harm something made of fire? With every question, he would challenge the faith of the Muslims more intensely. He would gather crowds, making his arguments seem logical and intellectual. The people who were not always equipped to answer such deep philosophical questions began to feel uneasy. Scholars from various schools of thought came forward, attempting to counter his challenges using Quranic verses and hadiths. However, the man would dismiss every scriptural reference, insisting that he was not interested in religious texts but wanted only logical, rational answers. The debates grew heated, and many of the scholars found themselves trapped in his intellectual web. The doubts planted by this man were spreading, and no one seemed able to silence him. The crowd began to murmur, unsure of how to respond. It seemed that the man was winning, and the fabric of belief in the market was beginning to unravel. But little did they know, Allah had a plan to show them the power of simple, unshakable faith. In the midst of this intellectual struggle, when the scholars were at a loss for words, a quiet voice emerged from the crowd. It was the voice of an 11-year-old child who had been listening carefully to the man's challenge. This child, whose name was known to the people, but whose wisdom was still largely unrecognized, stepped forward with a calm demeanor. The crowd, which had been captivated by the atheist's arguments, turned their attention to this young boy. What this child said next would shake everyone to their core. One day, as the skeptic repeated his challenging questions in the bustling marketplace of Baghdad, a boy of no more than 11 years old stepped forward from the crowd, his face calm and resolute. He approached the man who had been sowing doubts in the hearts of Muslims and said, "O skeptic, present your questions to me, and I shall answer them." The man initially dismissed the boy, thinking he was merely a child with no understanding of such profound matters. "What can a boy like you possibly know?" he thought. But seeing the unwavering confidence in the child's eyes, the man, in his arrogance, decided to proceed with his challenge. The skeptic asked, "Tell me what existed before Allah and who created him?" The boy smiled with a serene composure, his voice firm as he replied, "I will answer your question, but first I ask you to do one thing. Count backward from 10. The man, eager to continue the debate, agreed and began counting aloud. 10, 9, 8. He paused as he reached 1, unsure of what the boy wanted. The boy, not missing a beat, gently encouraged him, "Continue counting." The skeptic looked puzzled. "There is nothing before 1. It is 0, he said. The boy, with a calm smile, looked at the crowd and then turned back to the man. "If in counting backward, nothing exists before 1, how can anything exist before the one who is eternal and self-existing?" The boy's voice grew steady with certainty. "Allah is the beginning without a beginning, and the end without an end." The crowd stood in stunned silence, then erupted into applause as the skeptic stood frozen, speechless. The boy, his confidence unwavering, turned to the man and said, "Ask your next question." The man, desperate to regain control, asked, "If Allah sees everything, then in which direction is his face turned?" He smirked, thinking this question would finally stump the boy. The boy paused for a moment, and the man's confidence grew as he waited for the child to falter. But then, to his surprise, the boy responded, "If you enter a dark room and light a candle, in which direction does the light spread?" The man, taken aback by the question, replied, "The light spreads in all directions." The boy nodded thoughtfully, then continued, "This is the nature of artificial, worldly light. But what about the light of Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth? Surely his light is not bound by space or direction. It is everywhere, and he sees all things in every direction at all times." Once again, the crowd erupted into applause, and the man's pride and arrogance were shattered. He stood speechless, unable to respond. But the skeptic, determined to continue, asked yet another question. "What is the nature of Allah's existence? Is he like other beings, with a form or substance?" The boy looked at him intently and replied, "Can you imagine a shadow without a body to cast it? Allah's existence is beyond the comprehension of our finite minds. He is not confined to space or time. He is the creator of all that exists, and his nature is unlike anything we can fathom." At this, the skeptic's arrogance crumbled entirely. The boy's answers, simple yet profound, had revealed the truth that even the greatest scholars had failed to articulate. The crowd cheered for the child who had demonstrated with wisdom beyond his years that Allah's existence cannot be understood by logic alone. It is a matter of faith, a faith that transcends human understanding and connects us to the divine creator. The man, utterly defeated and humbled, walked away, leaving behind the undeniable truth that Allah is beyond all human comprehension, yet closer to us than we can imagine. Historical accounts attribute this incident to two renowned figures. Imam Jafar al-Sadiq and Imam Abu Hanifa. Regardless of who the boy was, it is clear that he possessed exceptional knowledge and wisdom. His logical responses remain relevant even today in addressing atheism. We conclude this video with a prayer. May Allah protect us from such trials. If you found this video informative, please like it and share it widely through Facebook and WhatsApp. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the red button and pressing the bell icon for more historical, Islamic, and informative videos. Until next time, take care of yourself and others, and keep watching Heartbeats for Allah.